welcome to another episode of Carrot Juice. I am your host, Monte Lee. I thank you for taking the time to sit down, relax, whether you're listening to it at your house, whether you're at work, whether you're in your car. I appreciate every listener. Thank you for taking the time. Here at Carrot Juice, this is a place where we have conversations about a variety of topics. I provide my opinion on things, and in fact, it is an opinion, and it's a humorous dose of common sense. We keep it light and fun, but I'm also dropping gems of knowledge that you can take, you can sip, that will nourish you, that will hopefully provide some value in your life. So with that being said, we're going to go on and we're going to just do a little housekeeping and get right into it. We got a good show today. So housekeeping. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. You know how it goes. Lend me a BMW. So what's the BMW special, you ask? The BMW special is, if you believe in my work, do me a favor. It helps out a lot. Just share the content, like and subscribe for the algorithm. You know how YouTube is, because I'm pushing this out on YouTube. These episodes are released every Tuesday. Anybody that's newly listening, thank you. And let's get right into the show. So I wanted to start this show off by talking about the rise of Devin Booker. And Devin Booker, shooting guard for the Phoenix Suns, all of age 24, 6'5", 205 pounds, hailing out of my hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan, has set the entire NBA on fire. And that is not a pun. He has literally been on fire on the floor, playing with a tamed aggression that I haven't seen in quite some time, and it is very refreshing to see. So, sliding into the Wikipedia here, Devin Booker grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He played his freshman ball at Granville High, and as a freshman, let me get to it right here. As a freshman, he played for the JV and varsity basketball teams. And according to a lot of people around in this area, he wasn't getting that much time there. So he ended up going and moving to Mississippi, where his father, who was a professional basketball player in his own right, where he moved with his father, and he enrolled in Moss Point High School. So shortly thereafter, his father was hired as an assistant coach at Moss Point, and young Devin Booker started to work on his game and develop himself. And before you know it, he's an All-American by his senior year at Moss Point, balling. Also in his senior year, he attended the Kevin Durant Skills Academy, the LeBron James Skill Academy, and the CP3 Elite Guard Camp, and the National Basketball Players Association NBPA Top 100 Camp. And this is all according to Wikipedia, by the way. So he has a stellar senior year. He ends up getting recruited by one of the best, one of the best college programs that you can possibly hope to go to, and that is John Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats. So he ends up playing for Kentucky, and honestly, with Kentucky, he was not a prominent player. Like, he was good and he had a jump shot, but he wouldn't be deemed a prominent player. But he played around talent there at Kentucky because every year John Calipari was recruiting some of the best players out of college. So you had to learn how to share the ball and play within a team system. And I feel like now I know that has helped Devin Booker moving forward, because you can tell that he's applied a lot of the things that he's learned through Kentucky. And also what he's learned more so than anything is getting to my main point. Devin Booker was tutored and mentored by the late and great Kobe Bryant. There has been multiple stories out about how Kobe has influenced Devin, how Kobe saw things in him when he was coming up, and when Kobe was towards the end of his career, latter in his career, how Devin Booker, he always bigged him up and said, I can see greatness in this kid. He's the next up. He's doing all of the right things as far as the NBA being in good hands. Like Kobe respected this young player, and he also mentored him, and you can see that development in his game. Like I harken back to that snake dribble that Devin Booker has perfected, and it's very reminiscent of Kobe Bryant. When he'll get the high screen and roll, he'll snake dribble from the top of the key and go across the free throw line extended area, and then pivot off of 1 foot, turn, rise up, and hit that 15 to 17 foot jump shot, which Kobe has hit so many game winners, big time shots from that area. The Kobe fans out there, you know the shot that I'm talking about. And if you watch Devin Booker play, it's very reminiscent of the Mamba. So the NBA is in good hands. Devin Booker has been stellar all playoffs, and it's good to see. I think their last game he played, when was it? Yeah, he played last night in game 1 of the NBA final, of the Western Conference Finals, pardon me, against the Clippers, and he had 40 points. He had a 40-point triple-double. And at one stretch during the game, he hit like 5 shots in a row when the game was in a balance. That's very Kobe-esque. And hailing out of Grand Rapids, I wanted to big up Devin Booker. I'm rooting for the Suns to come out of that series, and I also think the Bucks are gonna take care of the Hawks, even though the Hawks have been playing amazing. It's good to see NBA basketball and the future of the NBA in good hands. There's some very exciting teams, so I hope everybody's enjoying the playoffs as much as I am. Okay, I also wanted to go into a little further, because there's a recurring theme here with Devin Booker. And I saw an article recently from the Huff Post where guess who is starting to talk about and bring attention to herself during this time when Devin Booker is getting all of this publicity, right? According to the Huff Post, He's My Boyfriend, Kendall Jenner, finally opens up about Devin Booker. What? At this time, this is the time that this article comes out, when he's getting all this shine about his great performances? So, according to the article, the reality TV star has kept her love life private because I think it makes my life a lot easier and our relationship a lot better. Duh. Why don't you just keep it on the hush right now? We all know that you guys are talking to each other, but why does an article need to come out about it? So, according to the article, Kendall Jenner finally fessed up about her serious relationship with hunky Phoenix Suns guard Devin Booker Sunday after a secret was pretty much blown anyway. What? Hold on. Sunday after the secret was pretty much blown anyway on social media. Secret? Y'all got pictures all over social media. Where's the secret? Are we serious right now?
You're with us, Ron. What do you think? It's terrible. She has beautiful eyes and her hair smells like cinnamon. Mm-hmm. Loud noises. You're with us, Ron. What do you think?
That's how I feel about that. So, The article goes on to say it wasn't exactly shocking news after Jenner and the NBA player posted cuddly 1 year anniversary photos. It's been 1 year of each other on social media earlier this month around Valentine's Day. So does why is this even a story when he's playing in the Western Conference Finals? You know why? It never fails. The Kardashians, the Jenners can't help themselves and they just need attention no matter what. If somebody has something good going for themselves, they need the attention. They cannot help not being in the total spotlight. Ain't nobody thinking about no Kardashians or no Jenners right now. Devin Booker is balling for the Phoenix, Arizona Suns and doing his thing. Just let him have that spotlight. And I will say this. I know I'm really tough on the Kardashians. I really don't hate these people. This is all good fun. But I will say, out of all of the Kardashians and Jenners, Kendall Jenner is actually the one that I like the most. First of all, she's the only one that has a natural figure, natural body. She hasn't got a ton of work done. She might have got a couple of things here and there, but for the most part, she looks like a natural woman. She has natural beauty and all that. So Devin Booker did a good thing. I mean, out of all of them, that would be the one that I would choose. However, just fall into the background, Kendall. I mean, you already got fame. Lifestyle of the rich and famous. Could we just let D-Book have this moment? We know that you guys are talking. We're gonna see the post on Instagram. You don't need to broadcast it and just keep doing what you have been doing, because like I'm gonna say, there is a stigma behind the Kardashian and Jenners and basketball players. Okay? And I don't care who you date, but I'm saying it's a recurring theme with them getting with someone and there being a catastrophic injury, knock on wood, or the person career going down the tubes. Look at i.e. Blake Griffin, Lamar Odom, Reggie Bush, to name a few. Okay. And somebody else that we're going to talk about later who Miss Jenner has already been with, Ben Simmons. And if you guys watched the game the other night, you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to old Ben. Goodness gracious. That's all I got to say about that for right now. I just find it funny when people are trying to get shine in pub when somebody is doing well. I mean, you guys are already super famous, so I don't see the need for you to come out and talk about this. It doesn't make any sense, really. So fall back, Kendall. Enjoy the relationship with Devin. I wish him the best with things going forward, but just let my man have his moment, okay? So with that being said, that's been the first segment, and we're going to move on to the next topic here. But before we do, we have a message for the sponsor, from the sponsor, and we will be right back. Thank you for listening to the Karat Juice podcast, and I want to let you know about one of our sponsors, Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you a little bit about it. First of all, it's free. You know I'm always about a deal, so that's a big plus right there. There are also creation tools in the app and in the software that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's literally everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Okay, second up. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with someone named Jana Kramer, but she is a country music person, and she's had a podcast for some years with Mike Cousin, her ex-husband. And the podcast originally was Jana and Mike talking about their relationship and being very vulnerable about the things that they're going through. And I kind of like the podcast going up. I like the vulnerability that they showed in the podcast. So according to an article that I saw on People, Jana, and they discussed in the podcast, so I'll preface this a little bit. They discussed in the podcast how Mike has been unfaithful with her multiple times, how they've been working through that. He also alludes to how he had a sex addiction. Mike played in the NFL. I can't remember exactly what team, but he played in the NFL for some years. Pretty stocky built guy, handsome, typical NFL stud player, right? So they get married, and I believe they've been married for like 6 years. And during that time, there's been some infidelity, but she was working through it with him, and he had been getting help. He alluded to having a sex addiction, the whole 9 yards. So apparently, and I'll say allegedly, just to cover my back, apparently there was another instance where he was unfaithful, and Jana couldn't take it anymore, and she ended up filing for divorce here in April. Okay, so that's the preface to this. So she filed for divorce. They're separated. They're going through a divorce. Okay, so according to this article by people.com, Jana Kramer says she sold her wedding ring to renovate her home amid split from Mike Cousin. And the article goes on to say that Jana Kramer added that the ring was the second one from Mike Cousin that she's gotten rid of. The first being from their 2016 separation.
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
The second ring? Dang. Really? So, yikes. I mean, I don't know. I heard this article, and that just seems strange to me. Like, is that how it usually goes with divorce, that somebody keeps the ring in a divorce? Is that a thing? I feel like the person will want to give the ring back. Is that weird for me to say? I feel like the person should give the ring back. Yeah. So one thing I also want to say, I'll go on with the article here. So in response to a fan question on the June 13th episode of Jana's podcast Wind Down, the 37-year-old country singer revealed that she decided to renovate her home after her split from her estranged husband, Mike Cousin, and paid for it by using the money from selling her wedding ring. She said, "I have redone pretty much my entire house. I sold my ring, and that money from the ring paid for the furniture and the new additions to the house." She goes on to say, "I debated. I'm like, I'm going to sell this ring and then maybe buy myself something like a bag or my divorce present. But I was like, honestly, what would make me happiest is to have new energy in the house. So I took that money and gave it to interior designers," she added. Really? You're thinking about a home renovation during that time, during that divorce? I think, like, to me, it seems like your priorities should be somewhere else at this time, not getting a new kitchen. It just seems like off base. And no beverage there, sorry. And word on the street is Jana, who this was her third divorce. This was her third divorce, by the way. She's been married 2 times before this. Why Mike married this lady? No idea. No idea. Because somebody that's already been married twice, I think that's twice. First time, okay. Second time, all right. What is it? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You fool me, you can't fool me again. Isn't that George Bush? So I don't know why he married this lady. Third time. Okay. She divorces this guy. And in this instance, it was some pictures that recently came out that she was out. Hold on. Oh, whoa. Oh, it's more stuff here. So apparently she posted as well that she got a breast augmentation because I got a divorced body, and she post a picture, a revealing picture on Instagram talking about her breast augmentation. So she goes on to say in the Instagram post, the next chapter, this next me is free. She's happy even by herself. I'm ready to be in love with myself, and that includes my body. I have no idea what tomorrow holds. All I know is I was good enough before, and I'm good enough now. That sounds like some BS. Just trying to, what's the word? Not deal with the actual problems. So she's renovating the house. She got a breast augmentation, and she's posting thirst pictures on Instagram. She's 37. I think she's looking for a fourth husband. Is it gonna be you? Ooh.
Bruh.
Run. I wish I had that sound. Run. No, this seems craziness. Crazy house. No, I'm walking away from that, Jana. So, lady's attractive, but she's 37 on her third divorce with 2 kids. Yikes. I'm sorry. I don't know what she knows about this dating market out here, but the type of guys that she's used to dating and stuff, they now checking for 37-year-old baby moms with 2 kids. Just saying. I care if you're a country singer or not. They just gonna go date somebody who don't got kids that's 10 years younger. I mean, she has to know that. She obviously hasn't been keeping up with the times and understanding what this dating market is going to really look like for this lady out here. So, rude awakening coming to the Kramer household. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next segment. Let me get it pulled up here. So, this one's a juicy one, guys. So, this article is courtesy of meall.com, and it is entitled Pregnant Adult Film Star Lana Rhoades Wants Videos Deleted to Have Dignity Back. So, Lana Rhoades posted a snippet of a conversation with Harry Jowsey where she talks about motherhood and stigma. So, the former adult film star, Lana Rhoades, is going the Mia Khalifa way. Just weeks after announcing her pregnancy and due date, Rhoades says that she wants all of her old scenes deleted. The 24-year-old, who is an outspoken critic of the adult industry and has often opened up about her regrets filming adult content, once again spoke about the lasting effects it has had on her life and mental health. It goes on to say this time around, she was on Harry Jowsey's podcast, Tap In, and make sure you guys go check out his podcast. I'll link it in the description, and I'll link the link to this article. When Rhoades spoke about motherhood and whether she is worried her child will go on to see the adult spicy video content, and Rose said she wishes she could go back and delete her videos. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the rights to do so. A lot of the videos, she says, I have no rights under. Otherwise, I probably would have them delete all of them deleted by now. So when asked whether or not she regrets her time in the adult film industry, Rhodes said, I do. I honestly tell people if I could go back, I would give up everything to have my dignity and respect back, and for people not to be able to see me in that way.
Denied.
A wise man once said, fast money comes with long problems. You want to be an adult film star? You want to monetize yourself and make a ton of money? In this country, you have freedom of choice. You can do that. However, if you choose to do that, fast money comes with long problems. No matter what you try to do, young lady, that decision that you made as a young person, that will never go away. People are going to say things in certain ways. Once you put something on the internet, it's there forever. I can't believe she's actually trying to do this. So let's see here. I'm just going to go on and talk a little more about this. So some people responded after the episode talking about her appearance on the Jowsy podcast Tap In. So one of the commenters said, hey, Lana, don't let the opinions of those internet trolls get to you. It's sad. They have nothing better to do than to roast you. Same to anyone else dealing with haters. Screw the haters. Keep your head up. One user commented on her Instagram post, you're going to be an amazing mom, Lana. Another user added along similar lines, I love you, my friend, and you will make a wonderful mother. That child is so lucky. Okay. All right. Let them have a voice. Okay. So on Twitter too, some users had kind words to share with Lana, like, you're going to be an amazing mom. You have done so much to live this successful life with all of your businesses and your podcast. So happy you got to this amazing place and you get to be the mom you always wanted to be. So much love, queen. Okay. Let's get some reality here, okay? Some other users commented and they had blatant responses and they said, bro, you can't get rid of your footprint you made online. Doesn't matter how much rebranding you've done. The kid's gonna find out. LMAO. He's right. Or she's right. Whoever posted that. It wasn't me. Somebody else posted that. Another tweeted, Atlanta Rhodes, just listen to your podcast. With all due respect, your entire brand and fame is built on your adult film work, which is fair enough. But you can't now just pretend you don't use the people that were fans of yours to generate income now. By Rhodes' own admission during a conversation with YouTube channel BFFs with Dave Portnoy and Josh Richards of Barstool Sports, she is a multi-millionaire. Okay? So she has benefited. She's monetized herself. Very attractive young lady. But you cannot have both sides of the street, okay? So, according to this article as well, this isn't the first time that Lana criticized the adult film industry. She has previously openly discussed her experiences and just how much trauma that caused her. Earlier in the year, she opened up about one of the worst things that has ever been done to her in the adult film industry on her podcast, the Three Girls, One Kitchen podcast. Even though in this podcast, none of them cook. It's just three girls in the kitchen, no cooking, no recipes. And I like to cook. I like to cook. I like to make tacos and everything, but it's funny that they have a podcast, Three Girls, One Kitchen, nobody cooking. See if I got a sound for that.
Hey, man. Do you touch my drum set?
Nope.
It's just weird, because seems like someone definitely touched my drum set.
Yeah, that is weird. Because I didn't touch them.
That doesn't fit this situation at all, but I don't care. It's my sound pad, and I can use it, and I can do whatever I want with it. Okay, so just having a little fun with this, but I am not going to read. What she discussed was her worst scene in the adult film industry because it is not safe for YouTube or your ears, by the way. Just know it's nasty. It is not good. And she did that for monetary gain that she still benefited and profiting off now. People wouldn't know who she is. She wouldn't have a podcast. She wouldn't have multis of millions of dollars and all of that clout and notoriety if she didn't monetize herself in that way. Not saying that that's the only way people can be successful, but that was her choice. She could have chosen to go to college. She could have chosen to go a different route and be successful. However, that was her choice. You have to live with the consequences. And all of these modern women with this monetization and this lonely fans and all of these different avenues to monetize themselves, escorting and all that, it's going to be beholden on traditional women to stand up and say, no, we didn't do all of that stuff. We didn't monetize ourselves. If you stand up for somebody who is trying to get rid of their past, which they monetized off of, to become more chaste, to have chastity and virtue in the marketplace for other people and muddy the waters, that's just going to cause you guys to have more competition. Traditional women who are making the right choices, who haven't been monetizing themselves and behaving in a promiscuous way, they need to stand up and say, hey, no. If you made those choices, you're not a bad person, but you can't double dip and now come and try to have virtue and be chaste and get all your scenes deleted. No, that's not how it works. You need to hold that accountable because you're going to lose in this situation if you let all these people who have monetized themselves come off as these butterfly angel snowflakes and come and you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be taking the men that are there for you. So there's a lot to that situation going on, but I found some hypocrisy in that because on one end of the spectrum, she is monetizing herself and she's making a lot of money from her past endeavors in the adult film industry. And on the other hand, she wants to be a mom and she wants to, raise this child and all that. And I understand. And at the end of the day, the worst situation is going to be that child growing up because kids are mean. And kids are going to, if they find any of this information, the jokes are going to be heavy and they're going to be lofted at that kid. And anytime that kid says something or somebody doesn't like them, they're just going to be like,
gotcha, bitch.
Guess what? I saw your mama on this and that and that. And that's not fair to that kid, So I feel sorry for that situation. So before we move on, we got one last message from the sponsor and then we'll wrap up the show. Okay. So I want to wrap up this show with our recurring segment and this week on things that I wish I knew when I was 17. Okay. So this week on things that I wish I knew when I was 17, I've spoken about this before. College is a route to success, but not the only route. So I mentioned trades and I mentioned the importance of them. And in this episode, I wanted to give you some information about one of the trades that I mentioned. And hopefully you can use that if you're interested to go and possibly join a trade, get some information, and establish a career for yourself. Excuse me. So after doing just a quick Google search, I saw that there's an ability to get licensed and certified as a plumber in as little as 4 months to get on that trajectory. So some quick facts here. Plumbers in 2019 made an average of about $55,000 per year. Okay. Also, a good question that you should ask with any trade or any career by any means that you want to possibly do and thinking about doing, right? You want to look at, is it a growing industry? Okay. And the answer, according to the U.S. Bureau of Statistics, is yes. They expect that about 18% of growth for plumbers, but 18% growth for plumbers between 2018 and 2028. So, which is higher growth than the average of 7% expected among all occupations. It's a 10% difference. So the demand for skilled plumbers will continue to grow as people are retiring and the technical workforce isn't keeping pace. So plumbers are in demand. Plumbers are essential in any economy to keep communities safe and healthy. So you have a good salary starting out. You have a demand for it. So it's not as many plumbers. Okay. And a lot of the plumbers now, the journeymen, the long-standing plumbers are going to be retiring, and they need to be able to fill that demand of the vacancy, right? And plumbers are essential in any economy. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about possibly doing carpentry and flooring work. Nothing against that, but if you're in a house and the floor needs to be repaired, and also there's a plumbing issue with water leaking or clogs or anything like that, what are you going to get fixed first? I think the question is simple. You're going to get the plumbing done first because that has a lot to do with your water, sanitation, all that. And it's not the sexiest job, but it is essential and needed. And that's something that you need to think about as a young person. If college isn't going to be the best route for you, there are other avenues for you to be able to make money. Okay. So let's also go into some more information that I found. And this is according to explorethetrades.org. I will drop this website in the description, but I found it very helpful. So according to this article, it's Explore the Trades on the front of the website. It states that plumbing, HVAC, and electrical are all vital trades, okay? And I wanted to walk through some of the steps here that it states on the website. So, step 1, you need to get your high school diploma or GED. A plumber needs a foundation in math, algebra, and geometry, science, and computers. If offered, you may also want to take classes in drafting and blueprint reading. Okay, high school diploma or GED. You can go to any community college for the most part. Go back to your high school, see if they have any GED program. That's something that you can get done. And you usually can get your GED within a 6-month period, most likely. Okay. And it's not that expensive. All right. Step 2, get formal training. So complete an apprenticeship program or training at a local trade school. And on the website, it has right here where you can find apprenticeships and find trade schools. So this is something that you can do right here from this website. I found it very cool that they had all the information right here. All right. So I'm giving you nuggets. I'm giving you gems, things that you can take and actually apply to your life. All right. Move forward. Step 3 is a majority of states require that you have a plumber's license, although licensing standards aren't uniform. 2 to 5 years of experiences, 2 to 5 years of experience and passage of an exam of the plumbing trades and local codes are typical requirements. Okay. And then it has the information here on licensing in your area because every state with licensing is going to be different. Okay. Step 4 is residential service careers are in demand all over the country. Okay. It goes on to say, all right, step 5 is leadership opportunities once you become a plumber to become a general manager, a service manager, a field supervisor. And 6 is many plumbers start their own businesses. Okay. So I implore anybody who is not sure about college or just already went to college, but the degree is not working out for them at this time the way that they want. Go check out the trades. Okay. So during an apprenticeship, you also make some money. You make anywhere from $12 to $19 per hour, which for a lot of people right now that are younger, that's the amount that they're making in a factory. Why don't you go do an apprenticeship where you're learning a trade, something that you can eventually use to make more money yourself? Okay. With a journeyman license, you can make anywhere from $17 an hour starting out to up to $43 an hour. And just for instance, if you get up to the $43 an hour range, I want to just give you brass tacks of how much you could make a year doing that. Okay. So I'm just doing the math here. That's 90,000. Okay. That's approximately 90,000 a year. If you were making $43 an hour, and you could do that as a plumber. Okay. And that's not even saying you can go up to a master or contractor tier and they make anywhere from 36 to 67 per hour at the higher range. And let me give you the math on that because I like numbers. So there. Let's go. Get this right. That's $140,000 a year as a plumber if you get to the master level. And that's going to take some years, but that is some good money and that's legacy building. And you can help your family and generations to come if you invest it right over time. And you can do that as a plumber. So that's some food for thought. I wanted to give you some information. I'm going to link this website in the description. And I just want young people to take action. And this doesn't have to be the only trade. Like there's HVAC, there's electrical on this website, and it could show you a different route to go. Everybody doesn't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to be a doctor. I mean, if you want, great. You don't have to go to college and get some general business degree, which if you get a general business degree, please don't go to school for that. You can go to school for business. However, you want to have a specialization because a general business degree is too broad. It needs to be more specified. Do you want to work in supply chain or do you want to work in like international marketing or do you want to work in government? You got to figure out exactly what you want to do because just having a general broad degree that's easy or that I'm doing it because that's what my friends are doing, that's not the route to go. I wish that I had somebody to tell me this when I was younger. That's why I'm giving you this information now in bite-sized portions that you can take in and apply when you see fit. Hope that somebody's getting some good knowledge out of this because I want to be of use to the group. Okay, I'm 32 years old. I've lived some life. I've seen things. I've made decisions and I've made mistakes on my own. And this is the game that I would want somebody to give me when I was 17. All right. So with that being said, that's been another episode of Karat Juice. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I've enjoyed putting it out here. It's a good outlet for me to just talk, get my rants off. And it's been a fun journey so far, and I'm going to continue doing it. The podcast is going to be released every Tuesday, but I'm going to start branching out a bit and I might do some live streams. Post some other stuff on YouTube, whatever I feel like doing. I got the setup here. Eventually, I'm going to do a episode where I go through my setup, go through my studio here that I've been working on, and let you guys see a little bit of behind the scenes. I don't know if I'm going to do that in an actual video or if I'm going to do it in a vlog format, but I appreciate all you guys rocking with me. If you haven't done it already, lend me a BMW. That's if you believe in my work. Make sure you like, share the podcast, leave a review if you can. Everything you guys do is appreciated, and I appreciate you guys very much. So with that being said, hug somebody, love somebody, eat something good, do something for somebody, not expecting anything in return, and I'll speak to you guys next week.